Now, story number two. Big shout out to Curtis King. Curtis King, man, I'm a big fan of his channel. I'm fortunate to call him a good friend of mine. I have a lot of respect and admiration for the community he's built, his coverage of music industry trends. I love the way that I think he's effortlessly funny and knowledgeable about the different innovative ways for artists to make an impact, particularly independent artists, to make an impact with their music in a system, in an industry of cool where it feels like all the chips are stacked against the guy with the dream. And Curtis King he's now expanding into doing more interviews on his channel. And so he just notched a great conversation with BeFre, an LA cultural staple. He's an artist, he's a DJ, and he is one of the many people who make LA culture what it is, right? And they had a very long, detailed conversation. It was about 2.5 hours, nuanced, wide-ranging. They talk about, what the importance of culture. They talk about the significance of Master P. They talk about, stereotypes of being light-skinned. It's a wide-ranging conversation, and Curtis carries a conversation impeccably, in my opinion. And during this conversation, there's a couple of things in this conversation I definitely want to discuss. But in this battle between Kendrick and Drake, there's been a lot of different opinions that have been flying, since the beginning of this. And if you look at, just some of the accusations and allegations people have both Kendrick and Drake have levied at each other. In the opening block, for example, we talked about Kendrick calling Drake a PDF file. Not like us. Drake had spent time talking about how Kendrick is allegedly abusive to Whitney, and that BeFre is his partner, best friend BeFre, is actually the father of one of his kids. Okay. So the battle got, this battle definitely went places that we have never seen before. And those touch points continue to come up. There's a lot of people who are waiting on What's the Dirt's Family Matters video, for example. What's the Dirt did an interview with DeVille, and he talked about a lot of different things, and they talked about Family Matters and some of the things that he's seen. And people have been taking a piece of that online, and where it looks like some of the tactics or techniques or some of the research strategies, what the Dirt is doing, might allude to what he plans to reveal in his Family Matters breakdown. The Family Matters breakdown from What's the Dirt, who is, he's probably, in my opinion, he has the best breakdown coverage in terms of the nuances of the tracks around Kendrick and Drake in this battle, and so people are waiting on Family Matters. He said it was going to come a month ago, I think a month ago. We still haven't got this Family Matters breakdown. Now, we'll see where he's going with this, because I don't particularly find Family Matters as a song that needs 2 months to break down, but provided different clips that are showing up online based on this conversation he had with DeVille, if those clips are accurate, it might point to the style of research that he's using for this. So we'll see how his coverage looks. Most of the time, it looks like he does a lot of online research. Maybe he's talking to people. Maybe he's found other ways to find things. I don't want to get into the nuances of that clip. I'd rather wait to see what the video actually shows up. But the point is that What's the Dirt's breakdown will, I guess, give additional insight into Family Matters, which is the song where Drake accuses Kendrick of being abusive to Whitney. Okay. So in this conversation with BeFre, there's a part in here where Curtis asks BeFre his connection to Kendrick, how he's connected to Kendrick Lamar. And let's take a look at it. We're going to react to it.
You get into that. What is your relation to Kendrick?
That's family.
That's family.
You want to know the real relationship? You want me to tell the...
I mean, it's on you if you want to disclose that. That's and I'll get you some more ice in a second, Yeah.
Nah, we ain't need no more ice, man.
Good. All right. I don't know why the hell they gave you this one.
So that's
This is warm. That's crazy.
Whitney, which everybody knows, you know, Kendrick's girl, the mother, his children. That's my cousin.
Right.
Yeah, that's my cousin. So.
All right. So BeFre is Whitney's cousin. BeFre is Whitney's cousin. Okay, so we need definitely check out this interview because it's really dope. I mean, it's away from the Kendrick stuff. It's really, really dope. But that gives you his perspective and the context for what he's about to say. All right, so let's keep going.
Yeah, that's the dope shit. Like around, yeah, like 20-some years. Right, 20 years. 20 years.
Did you see that picture? That picture was like, look at that picture right there. Look how young they look. I don't know. I guess that picture's probably around damn time. Maybe that was 2017. Maybe they don't look that young after all.
Damn, like 20-some years.
Right, 20 years.
20 years. I met Dot when he was 18, going on 19.
That's a young looking picture. Look at that. Look at that right there. That was a whole lot of classic albums ago.
So when he was actually still K-Dot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Training Day mixtape, like,
yeah,
you know, him and J-Rock, they did that little East Coast mixtape, like, bro, like,
yeah,
I seen the formation of TDE from beginning to where it's at now, bro. So it's a beautiful thing.
So now that we have arrived.
So now that we've set the stage, and Curtis is about to say the same thing I'm about to say too, but now you understand who BeFre is. Curtis asked the question I think everybody wants to know now, given a lot of the allegations that Drake levied against Kendrick. Here's a family member. A family member's about to give his perspective. Let's see what he says.
To that name, and we've arrived to your relation. You know, there's a few different questions I wanna ask you about that, but can we just zoom out first on some hip hop shit?
Okay.
You're a hip hop head.
Facts. Let's do it. Whatever you got in the chamber, let's go.
So, first of all, no, we got to preface this the right way. This nigga sent me a text one day. I still don't know what it is, but we gonna get to it somehow. This nigga said, he said, hey, Curtis, I just do an interview soon. I said, yeah, for sure. You already know we got that plan. He said, I feel like breaking the internet. I said, what you mean? You can't just send me no shit like that and be like, I'll get back to you at 8.
Not break the internet, but like,
you said something along them lines.
like ruffle some feathers, you know, like bring people back to reality, man. That's not break the internet. No.
Yeah, you're not break the internet. Okay, maybe I'll exaggerate. Like, maybe that's just my exaggeration.
Have an uncomfortable conversation for some people out there that, you know.
What, you know, and this is something, bro, and I got a few different questions, especially knowing your relationship, obviously, to Whitney. That was a point that I brought up. And maybe it's because I feel like, you know, I've worked with Dot. I've built up a bit of rapport back in the early years when I was working with Soul at that time. I had more of a relationship with Soul than I ever did with Dot. But like, I always wonder about the human beings when there's a back and forth. I wonder about the human beings when somebody passes away, right? When Mac Miller passed away, all I could think about, for whatever reason, maybe I'm sure that's God. I'm thinking about his mom. I'm thinking about, you know, how does a family sort of kind of find comfort in a time like that when these are real human beings that are attached to it.
Right.
Now, bro, a lot of things were said in this back and forth with Kendrick and Drake. And a lot of reckless things I felt like were said. And I feel like that's probably why the results of how this battle happened the way that it did. And one of them involves Whitney. And I'm like, when the guy, that light skinned nigga didn't want to leave the other side.
Yeah, the guy. When
that guy started throwing out accusations and all kind of things, bro, the first thing I thought in my head was like, the family. As a man, as somebody who has a wife myself, I think about like, you can't just throw things out there like that, and it affects a lot of people.
Right.
What's your POV when you're seeing some of it? Because he was one of the first ones to fire off all of these different things. He mentioned her in the push-ups and all of this, in that song and all of that. How are you taking this as a hip hop head who understands the landscape, but then also too is like, that's family you talking crazy about?
From a artist standpoint, and not being biased because I know Dot, and you know that's my family, but like artistically, I feel like oh boy didn't do his research on Dot.
That's the part that blows my mind too. I mean, if you're in a 10-year Cold War with someone, anyone, If you have someone you feel like you hating on you for a decade, at least, and you throwing sneak disses, how are you that unprepared? How are you that caught off guard? How do you end up looking that vulnerable? To know the enemy is to know yourself. I feel like Drake should have read the 50th Law. He should have read The Art of War. Because for some reason, he had no idea who he was dealing with. And that is just crazy to me.
He didn't do his research on what type of caliber of fucking artist he really is, and this nigga really was a battle rapper before he became what he is. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he fucked with the wrong dude. Like, yeah, I kind of saw it wasn't gonna turn out too well for bro,
right?
You know? And you know, I play my role, but at the same time, I did feel like, damn, bro really throwing shots at the fam, and everything he's saying is not fucking true at all. Like,
everything he's saying is not fucking true at all. Whitney's cousin. Now, Drake said a lot of crazy stuff. Drake made allegations as well. I've watched people act as if this battle started when Kendrick mentioned Drake as a father on Euphoria, or when Not Like Us came out. I've heard people describe the mudslinging as starting at that point. It started with push-ups. And so there's a lot of people who think that, you know, there's going to be all kinds of, you know, that Drake is being honest in what he's saying. Now, I can't speak for or against any of the allegations that have come out of this battle on either side. But BeFre is now the second family member to show support to Kendrick. And in this case, he said the things that Drake was saying weren't even true. You know, so we'll see what happens. We'll see where, you know, where this road goes, what other side quests we might end up being on. But this is significant right here. Whitney's cousin reached out to Curtis King, wanted to do a podcast, wanted to talk about some things. And, you know, he's out here and he said that what Drake was saying in his songs wasn't true. All right, so that's one part of this conversation that really stands out to me. Here's another part that I thought was interesting because, again, like we're talking about all these Easter eggs. I'm always talking about these side quests and these missions. We're talking about what's the dirt, breaking down Family Matters. I don't think it should take 6 weeks, 2 months to break that song down, but we'll see where that ends up going. But on the Kendrick side of things, every one of these tracks is still has a loyal following of people finding new references and reference points in these tracks. So Curtis asks BeFre, how real are the allusions and the Easter eggs that seem to be all over Kendrick's drops? Here's what BeFre says.
I got one more dot question, bro. Mm-hmm. I forgot to ask you this one. Mm-hmm. A lot of us been digging into these Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. You know the genius that's there. Mm-hmm. Do you ever look at some of these breakdowns of like, oh, what he meant in this? It remind me to remember the character on In Living Color when he was like, see, brother, what you must do is I promise you, enlightenment of the extraditus. Like I look at some of this stuff and I'm like, I can see that. This one kind of, I don't know about this
bro,
one.
It's so funny because, bro, Black Twitter, they will try to, it's so many theories.
It's not even just Black Twitter. This one's crossed way past just Black Twitter.
To all them bars. Like, what? Like, nigga, how do you know that's what he meant? Like niggas really sat there and was like, man, that shit it's a coincidence. Like, bro.
But see, this is why your perspective is so valuable because you know the man. You know, you know 20 years is a long time.
Dot is just like me, you. Yeah. He human, bro. He, like I said, he grew up on old school music. He grew up on cartoons and cereal. like, bro, like he's human. So like a lot of his childhood and life plays into his music, bro. So like, bro is really clever with his words. So I'm like, I don't know, like the Twitter investigators, that shit had me dying because I'm like, bro, people were really making their own theories up to all these bars.
Right.
Like, it sounds good, but like,
yeah,
nigga, you don't know what that man meant.
Right.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I even got a little bit deep in the rabbit hole, and I was like, okay, I gotta chill. Because there were people bringing back stuff like, no, what happened was this. You didn't see that it's a quadruple entendre that is bringing you. And I'm like, you know what? I think we went too deep down the rabbit hole.
Red fish, blue fish, green fish, knick-knack, paddywhack,
Now-
give a dog a bone.
Now, you said red fish. It kind of reminds me of red fox. Sanford and Son. Is there a son that he's missing? That is missing in the equation of Drake? Like, bro, it was so much of that stuff. And it's still happening. Like, even like people that hit me now, and I'm like, bro, Not Like Us has been out for whatever X amount of months, and they still finding Easter eggs.
It came out in May. Like, come on, bro. Like,
or July, wasn't it? Wasn't it on 4th of July? It dropped?
that nigga dropped that shit on Cinco de Mayo. Petty, right? On Cinco de Mayo.
Wait. Talking about the song itself, right?
song
I'm
itself.
talking about the video. Okay,
The song itself dropped on Cinco
was
de
on
Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
Why
bro.
Why you say that's petty?
I mean, like, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, of the culture, like, bro, like, think about it. Like, that's
I didn't even catch
brilliant.
that till
That's
right
brilliant. Like, niggas turn up in LA on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Another great point.
I was so invested in the battle itself that I forgot about all of the other shit going on.
And you know what's crazy? Nobody ever expected him to do nothing on a Mustard beat. That's another thing. Like,
man,
like,
that's an unspoken genius in that, bro.
Word up. So that's BeFre on Curtis King TV. Big shout out to Curtis King. This is a dope conversation. I'll put a link to it in the description. Make sure you check it out. But the main takeaways are, you know, you've got Whitney's cousin here saying that the things Drake was saying in this battle were untrue. And, you know, I hadn't really considered the genius of dropping Not Like Us on Cinco de Mayo in terms of getting the whole coast, getting all the populations out here in a moment where everybody was turned. And, you know, we're having a good time with all these Easter eggs, but until Kendrick tells us what things mean, it's all fun and games. And I'm down for the discussions because I enjoy this so much. Let me know what you think about all of this. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel, follow @thecompanyman on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.